The first thing I want to explain is the whole problem with coronavirus from the get-go has been that it's one of recognition, right? This is a virus that none of us had ever seen before. Our bodies don't recognize it, so we don't know what to do with it. The best way I could think of it to explain it is imagine a man is walking up your driveway to your door, and you don't know whether to let him in or not let him in based on what he looks like. So a guy comes up to your door in a brown outfit carrying a package. You're like, oh, that's the UPS guy. We'll let him in. A guy comes up to your door wearing a black ski mask and a gun. You're like, okay, he's a bad guy. We're going to keep him out. Well, coronavirus was a guy in a green suit and orange shoes coming up to your doorstep. And your body is like, I don't know, is he good? Is he bad? We don't recognize this guy. Let's just let him in. He looks like he wants to party. So that's what's happened worldwide, is that everybody's bodies are letting this virus in because nobody recognizes it as bad. So the whole purpose of this vaccine is to teach your body that the guy in the green suit and the orange shoes is bad. Don't let him in. An mRNA vaccine, which is what the Pfizer vaccine is a messenger RNA. It's literally it's a message to teach your cells, here's what the coronavirus looks like. Don't let it in. Unlike some other vaccines, this vaccine does not teach your body how to kill the virus. So you're not going to have antibodies to the virus itself. And if you get the virus in you, your body isn't going to destroy it. It isn't going to kill it. What it's going to do is just keep it out of your cells. So you won't take the virus in and get sick. You'll keep it out. And that's really the goal. The term you're going to hear a lot is spike protein. That's the shape on the outside of the virus that your cells are learning, hey, this is what this looks like, don't let it in. It's literally like teaching your toddler what the shapes are. Like, this is a triangle, it has 3 sides. When you see this, it's always a triangle. That's basically what we're teaching your cells with this mRNA vaccine, is that this spike protein is present on the outside of a coronavirus. When you see that, don't let it in. It's really that simple. So the important take-home point is the vaccine itself is not the virus. It is not a live virus vaccine. You cannot get coronavirus from this vaccine. It is literally just a set of instructions teaching your body how to recognize it. So you can't get the virus, you can't spread the virus. I've had many people ask me, well, if I get the vaccine, can I give coronavirus to my kids? No, you can't spread the virus because you're not getting the virus. All you're getting is a set of instructions. You also won't test positive because, again, you're not getting the virus, so you won't have any antibodies to the virus. So the big question then becomes, okay, who should and who shouldn't get this vaccine? And Dr. Womack's opinion, the short version is everybody should get it. There is really only a very small subset of people that should think twice about not getting it. For the rest of us, everybody should get it. So if you have been exposed in the last 10 days or you have been tested positive for coronavirus in the last 10 days, it is recommended that you wait until your exposure period or your quarantine period is over until you get the vaccine. But you should still get the vaccine. And if you had the coronavirus or you were exposed a month ago, get it now. All you have to do is wait out that quarantine period. If you are pregnant, we don't know the answer to that. There is, in theory, no scientific evidence that this should harm your baby in any way. But that's the one thing that has not been studied in any of the tests to this point. So no one can tell you that it's 100% safe. So it's really up to you, and talk to your doctor and decide if you want to take it or not. But there is no data to support one way or the other because it just hasn't been tested. You can't rush that kind of a test because women only take 9 months to get pregnant. You can't rush that along. Likewise, if you're breastfeeding, there's no data on that either. However, that being said, I will tell you that mRNA is very hard to hang on to. It's very fragile. That's why this that's why this vaccine has to be kept so cold, and it can only be out of the freezer for so long. So in theory, if you get the vaccine, even if any of the vaccine were to make it into your breast milk, it would be destroyed in your baby's tummy in seconds. So if my wife was breastfeeding, I would 100% tell her to go ahead and get the vaccine. But again, that's a discussion you should have with your doctor. If you have had another vaccine within 2 weeks, you need to wait. It's recommended that you not get the flu shot and the corona shot within 2 weeks of each other, or any other vaccine for that matter. So if you're thinking about getting another vaccine like the pneumonia shot or the flu shot, wait 2 weeks. That's it. Allergies, a lot of people ask me about allergies. What if I'm allergic to things? Seasonal allergies, environmental allergies, all that kind of jazz, totally fine, no problem, get the vaccine. The only allergy that we know of is if you have an anaphylactic reaction to bovine protein, and you would know that if you have it. It's not something that's going to sneak up on you. Basically, if you've ever had another shot of any kind and you swelled up and got big lips and couldn't breathe and ended up in the hospital or got an EpiPen, that's something you ought to at least talk to your doctor about before you get it. But otherwise, if you have problems with nuts or shells or peanuts or any other allergy or seasonal allergies, totally fine to get the vaccine. I get asked a lot about immune suppressed people. So if you have cancer or if you have HIV or any other immune suppressed illness, should you get it? And my answer is 100% yes, because you are much more at risk from being sick and being hurt from having the virus itself, from getting coronavirus and getting sick, than you are from the vaccine. So 100% get the vaccine. So then the questions always start to come up about what are the side effects? Am I going to grow a third eyeball? Am I going to be numb on my left side for a week? And the studies done on the vaccine really are fairly benign. So fatigue and headache were the number one side effects in 40% of people that got the shot and in 35% of people who got the placebo. So it means there's only really about a 5% difference in people between the people that got salt water in their arm and people who got the actual shot. But that seems to be the fatigue and the headache seems to be the most common. About 10% more people in the vaccine group got pain at the side of the shot. I got my shot last Friday. I'll tell you, my arm hurt like a flu shot would hurt, and it hurt for about maybe 12 to 18 hours. By the next afternoon, I'd forgotten I'd even done it. I went to work. I felt great. I had no problems. There's a lot on Facebook and stuff about vomiting and diarrhea. Here's a really interesting factoid. In the study group, 11.1% of people who got the vaccine got diarrhea or vomiting. 11.7% of people who got placebo had diarrhea or vomiting. So more people threw up when they got a saltwater shot in the arm than when they got the actual vaccine. So I think there's much to do about nothing on that one. I'll tell you that the Via Christi has given out literally thousands of shots right now. They have multiple nurses standing by with EpiPens waiting for some problem that has not yet happened. So I talked to them when I got my shot on Friday, and they said they've had really no problems at all. So I think what you're seeing on Facebook and social media is a lot of hype and not a lot of truth. Last things to hit, a couple of questions people ask me, well, how long is this shot good for? Again, it's one of those things we don't really know. I would not anticipate that this is a one and done kind of a thing. I think we're going to get vaccinated now, and probably by the fall of 2021, we're going to get vaccinated again. The current regimen for both the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine is you get shot the first time, and then in 3 weeks, you get a booster shot. And then 2 weeks after that, you're considered fully vaccinated. So it's about a 5-week process from the time you start until you're really protected, if you will. That being said, it's not wasted time in the middle. It's just in order to get up to that 95, 97% range, you have to get the 2 shots and wait about 5 weeks. Last thing people ask me a lot is, after all this is done, after we get the shot, we get both shots, do I still need to mask? Do I still need to glove and gown and do all the PPE protection? The answer is 100% yes. And the reason, again, goes back to what I talked about at the very beginning, is that your body's not killing this virus. Your body's just keeping it out of your cells. But it's very possible that you could still get coronavirus into your system. So what I mean by that is, if you're standing taking care of a patient and they cough and sneeze on you, you may breathe in those viral particles. Your body, now that you're vaccinated, will keep those viral particles out of you. You will not get sick, but you could turn around and breathe out those viral particles into someone else and still infect them. So for right now, it's very important that we continue to mask and glove and gown and do all the PPE protection that we can. My prediction is that's going to continue probably through the fall.